Hi everybody. Today I'm going to change the spark plugs on my 2008 Rav4 four-cylinder engine. It's the 2AZ-FE engine, four-cylinder 16 valve double overhead cam, and I'm going to be using the Bosch IR Fusion 4501 spark plugs. They're iridium and platinum mix. Getting good reviews on Amazon. I'll put the links for these down on the description. Here's the actual plug itself. There you go. And again, we're replacing them on Toyota Rav4 2008 with the 2AZ-FE engine. Some reason I can't remember that. And I'm going to show you everything you need to do to get that done, including the tools. So here we go. Okay, you're going to need a inch-pound torque wrench, which is that. That's a quarter-inch drive. This is a foot-pound torque wrench. It's a half-inch drive, but I have an adapter there, as you can see, to make it 3/8. 3/8 extension. The proper size socket, which I'm using a 13/16 on that. I know it's a metric, but it works just fine. 3/8 ratchet and a quarter-inch ratchet with a 10mm head. Of course, you're going to need two packages of two Bosch Platinum IR spark plugs. And that's basically all the tools I'm going to use. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to take off is the nice little advertising on top of that engine. It's a noise cover, they say. Basically a piece of plastic with insulation on the bottom. There's two 10mm bolts on it, nuts, sorry, and they just come off. So we'll use our little 10mm nut driver. Once they're loose, you just screw them off pretty easy. Lift off the cover, and now you're almost at the spark plugs. Always when you open up your hood, take an opportunity to look at your fluids, like your coolant and your oil, just to make sure. There's your transmission fluid as well. What we need to take off are these. I've got them numbered, but you don't need them numbered. Basically, they're your spark plug wires with the actual ignition built right into each one separately, which is pretty cool. Each one has a 10mm again holding it down. So take the handy dandy, loosen them up, and take those 10mm bolts out. Oh yeah, I advise you to work on a cold engine. Hot engines are no fun. Okay, now each one of these ignition coils is hooked up through a control wire. You could take all that off, but I mean, you don't really need to. Just pull them up and out of the way. It's pretty self-evident where they're going to go. They only fit in one hole. The wire is only long enough to reach those holes. So off we go. There we go. That last one's a little tough. Be easy on the wires. Okay, so let me take you over here. You can see they're very, very deep, these spark plug holes where these spark plugs go into this engine. Okay, so you need an extension on your 3/8 inch socket driver. Right there. Okay, so here's the key. This is a spark plug socket, and inside it has a little piece of rubber, which hopefully will hold the spark plug when I pull it out. The order you pull these out in doesn't really matter, as we're not going to reuse them. And I got the wrong spark plug socket. Actually, the right spark plug I'm using is a 5/8. It'll fit. Even though it's metric, it'll still fit. Here we go. Obviously, over torqued. They're supposed to be torqued down, according to the manual, to 18 foot-pounds, and Bosch says to get them down to 21. So I'm going to go with Bosch since they make the spark plug. The manual's made by Haynes, that's what I'm looking at, so it could be a generic thing. So turn them until they come out. Careful when you're putting them out. See if I can get that to focus on this. Focus, baby. There we go. You see that that's pretty dirty plug, and it's at 100,000 miles that I've over 100,000 miles on that plug. It's an iridium tipped plug, but I think it's had its day. I believe in torquing things to spec. It makes me feel good about not stripping the bolts, and then, you know, it's going to make the engine last longer, and the threads on the engines last longer. Uh-oh. Can't get that plug out. Can't seem to get a good bite on it. Get it out. It is loose, but I just can't pull it out. Okay. Now comes my next trick. All right, I knew this might happen, so here's what I have. A little piece of rubber hose, all right, nothing really special, but what I did is I put 2 slits into that rubber hose. Focus that in. See the slits on it? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that hose down into the plug like that, and then take it out. I can also use it for putting it back in, as it will keep, keep me from actually cross-threading the plug. So here we go. Ta-da! Nice little tool. Nice trick too. I didn't put that hose in the list of tools needed, but now you know. I'm making the assumption that people will watch. Oh, there's another one that's not coming out for me. That piece of rubber inside this thing. Ah, there we go. Got it. So, one more. There we go. And I'll just show you this plug again. Pretty bad looking plug. So you see the camera will focus on a little better. that's seen its day. Though it's still working just fine, to me that needs to be replaced. Now we're going to put in the Bosch 4501 Platinum IR Fusion spark plugs. And of course they put it into bulletproof packaging so that your local neighborhood shoplifter won't take them from the store. So you'll notice a slight difference in those two plugs. They are the exact same, pretty well exact same height. Maybe just a little shorter on the Bosch, but that's okay. The thread size is right. And you'll notice that there's 4 prongs, and it's got a nice ceramic point on it as well. That's supposed to make it work better. I'm not sure, but these plugs are not too cheap. I'll put a link in the description for them, but that's what I'm replacing it with. So, in reverse, what we're going to do, I'm telling you, you need this hose, okay? Put this hose on it. You can see where it's slit there, and slit there, which helps it, grip onto the ceramic of the plug. And then we're going to put it in. Nice thing about this, and what I do is I always go backwards a little bit, is that if you cross thread it, this hose is not going to let you thread this spark plug in. But if you got it right, it'll go all the way down to almost snug. Ta-da! Number 1. Let's do another one. Just like that. I can't emphasize that little hose trick enough. It's like a universal joint. It'll keep it from cross-threading your plug. If you put the socket in there, there's a chance you cross-thread the plug, and once you do that, man, you're in a world of hurt, because you just cross-threaded your head on your engine. Not something you want to do. There we go. I got to open up another package. Those last plugs lasted me 100,000. That's pretty impressive. But those are iridium plugs, the original NGKs that came with the car. I'll probably be a little more vigilant on these plugs. I'm not getting a bite on that one. There we go. There we go. Nice to know that I'm not cross-threading those. Once again, love the hose trick, or rubber tubing trick, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Now, Bosch says torque them down. You get that to come into focus. 21 foot-pounds. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. You won't be able to see this anyways. So there's 20, 21. Set my handy dandy torque wrench. $21. Hear it click. $21. $21. $21. There we go. Proper torque. Now you're probably wondering what that 1/4 inch torque wrench was for. It's for the 10mm bolts. Generally 10mm bolts go to 80 inch pounds, not foot pounds, inch pounds. So we'll put them on 80 inch pounds. Right there. I'm going to put these back in and they just slide in. You'll feel it when it's right. Actually, I'm going to start from the end. Okay, and you'll see that there's a 10 mil that secures each one of those ignition components down. Kind of hand snug them down. It's a pretty nice design. Pretty sure the engine would be pretty watertight if you got it underwater. At least the ignition system anyway. Here we go. Okay. And now down to 80 inch pounds. Not foot pounds, inch pounds. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it clicks when you're at the right torque. There. There we go. Last but not least, engine cover. Of course, you've checked your fluids. I have already too. Engine cover down. And again, these are 10 millimeters, so 80 inch pounds is fine. There we go. Let's kick it over and see what it sounds like. That's it. Sounds good. You're good to go. Thank you for watching, and come back and look at some other videos that I have on the Rav4 if you're doing some maintenance on it. Thank you very much.